We are under the lights at the Daytona International Speedway for week number 9 of the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing League. And here we go on the back stretch. Everyone is lining up, and real quickly, here is our race info presented by ZP Motorsports. So it is a cool night, believe it or not, in Florida. 66 degrees with a track temp of 68, so it should keep it really cool for these guys. So they're just starting to take off to do their half parade lap with Ollie Belanger in the pole position with the 143.5, followed by Jesse Olson, Michael Cochran, Ryan Flannery, Zach Holden, Andy Gaterick, Matthew Montalvo, Michael Day, Daniel Kroger, Sirio. Oops, sorry about that. I thought that was turned off. And Tom Jensen, Dean Dibdahl, Kevin Medina. And following up second half of the field is Justin Barrera, Vincent Cernuto, Bjorn, Matt, Eric, Junie, Michael, Chris Wells, Robert Elder, Justin Hall, and the last two guys not taking any time. All right. Hey, Lexi, how are you doing? I'm sorry to cut you off and not introduce you, but welcome to week number 9.
Hi.
How are you doing this week? We're about ready to go, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so.
I see the cars getting ready. And there they go, as far as getting to the start. So we're going to go ahead and look at Ollie up front. He will be leading the pack as they get through the tri-oval. And he has taken off and he is gone. He has put himself with a good 2 or 3 car length lead going into turn 1 as the rest of the cars are starting to shake out. And already, now this is very late on the brakes is Michael Cochran through there in the Porsche 911 number 777.
I think we've got a new person.
Who's our new person?
Well, either I forgot him or we got a new person. His name's Ethan.
He had raced once before, but he did not partake in the actual race because he's already shown as out, not showing up in the simulation.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So as the cars are starting to head out, let's look at the back of the pack real quick to see what's going on back there. There's still a lot of big, gigantic battles with Mr. Chicken Legs leading everybody through the kink, going through, and as everyone's starting to get up to the Horseshoe, again, we're going to check back with the front guys as Jesse Olson lost 2 places at the start of the race, but he'll be able to make those back no problem with Michael and Ryan actually moving up a space.
Looks like a caterpillar. All the people on the map.
Oh, on the track map?
Yeah, it looks like a colorful caterpillar.
Yep, it sure does. How about we bring a battle box up as well so people can follow some of their drivers and where they stand. So here they are on the back stretch between NASCAR turn 2 and turn 3, and they're going to go into the bus stop right through here. So they're going to get from about 160, 70 miles an hour down to about 80, shift down a couple gears and back out as they get back on the bus stop. So the most important thing about Daytona here is how to actually set up the car, as Michael Cochran now is using the draft, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, to get right behind Ollie and see if these guys are going to make a run for it. So these guys are teammates though. So they are from the Tennessee region SCCA, and I'm pretty sure they're going to work together and not take each other out, as Ollie throws down a 147.826 and Michael a 147.89. So hundreds apart from each other, and everyone else is in the 148s. So these two guys, I think, are looking to go ahead and take control of this race and move forward. As we go back to third place, there's Ryan Flannery right there in the Lamborghini for Friend Motorsport, followed by another Lamborghini, which is Jesse Olson right after that. And in 5th place, Zach Holden. See if we can get a closer view of him. There he is. Looks like a new livery for that car. That's kind of neat. Glad they're always updating, and definitely love the American flag on that rear fender. So getting around to lap number 2, getting ready to leave the infield again, moving right up. I don't see that anybody had any major issues for the first couple laps, which is good. So that's kind of exciting, isn't it? That no one has really had a major crash, especially with turn 1 at Daytona.
Yep.
Yep, that's all you got.
Of course.
Oh, well, that's 2-word answer that time.
So, today we have a normal surprise.
What is our normal surprise?
We're going to go down this track map and I'm going to get everything wrong.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I have a vision of, I'm going to try to have a vision of what might be the word.
Yep. It looks like Kevin Medina went into pit lane. He might have had a small off track. I guess he spun in the bus stop. Oh, I think he might have hit the wall. He's having some steering issues through there. So his car is definitely crabbing. So unfortunately, he will take a pit stop a little too early for this race as Ollie throws down our 144 flat. And again, same with Michael, another 144 flat. So these guys are keeping in tandem, but I tell you what, the next 4 or 5 guys are keeping them honest and keeping them in tow, because here, as we talked about before, is the draft. So anybody who's watched any race, especially NASCAR here at Daytona, you know that the car in the front punches a hole and it's easier for the car behind it to catch up because there's less resistance. Well, it also works for sports cars as well, as you start to see the cars, if you get with about a second behind the car, you might end up losing the draft. So you want to stay real tight and have a partner just in case you start losing the draft altogether.
We also have another surprise for today. That is not normal. Definitely not.
What's it? We got more surprises? Did you tell me what the surprise was?
Well, we can't tell you. You have to figure it out for yourself.
Oh, okay.
You'll see later. Until then, try to guess what the surprise is. And it's not cake. Okay.
All right. One of the things that is really neat here, especially racing at night, is you get to see, some of the details that iRacing has put into the sim, and you'll see some of those front rotors glowing as they get hard onto the brakes. Oh no, Andrew Gatorick, looks like he might have slipped up coming out of the bus stop there and gave up a place to Zach Holden. All right, so it looks like we do have a change for the lead. I don't think it's going to be a very exciting change. I think being that their teammates are just, there it goes. Ollie just goes wide and lets Michael on through. And now he's going to let Michael run in the front and see what these guys can do to help see if they can break some of the guys behind them that are keeping up.
I have got a bonus for next week.
Oh, a bonus?
Yes.
Where are all these things coming from? You didn't run this by the league organizer.
Well, I'm just thinking of other new stuff. So I'm thinking of bonus for anyone who changes their little square picture into a funny new cat face. And then I'm going to choose their car, even if it's black or gray or whatever those boring colors are.
So what you're just saying is because everyone is using team liveries now, that something happened to Vincent. He's going down, coming out of the bus stop. Coming out of the second Horseshoe, unfortunately. And Kevin Medina also had an issue as well. Oh, look at that, going into the bus stop again. That looks like the same exact thing that might have happened to him the first time in there. Maybe he's got some brake balance that just was not set up correctly. And then Vincent also had an issue on the second Horseshoe. There it was. We watched a little bit of that. So he went a little wide and out into the grass, losing a lot of spaces there. So he's back up to speed through the bus stop and focused back on our leaders. So there is now Michael and Ollie still working in tandem. I don't know if they're actually going to get into bump drafting. I don't think these cars are really made for it. But I can tell you that now Zach Holden just threw down the fastest lap of 143.5. Of course, using the draft as the two TN teammates go side by side. But now Ryan is all over the back of Ollie. Looks like he might have went for a little bit of look. He's going for a look on the inside of Ollie. And we need to switch the camera. There we go. But Ollie had a better drive coming out of the corner. So as they start heading in towards the kink, they're going to go single file through there. Not the best place to pass. It does get a little squirrely. And back on the binders, here as you start to see the rotors starting to light up. And nice and patient corner through here because you want to get a good drive off this exit, because the longer you wait to get on the power, the longer it takes you to get to this corner right here before you get up, because this is a very important corner to get the power down because it's very slippery, little off camber as you can see, and a lot of people will lose it through that area, but you want the best drive you can get for the high banks.
How about I take over? Racing is magic.
Racing, absolutely, racing is magic.
How about I take over and you play with Bob Ricky? Which is not your computer.
No,
I know.
It is not. It is not my computer.
I know. So here we are with Olivier Bellier.
Yep.
They have their lights on, and as you see, they are glowing. And there is a hot air balloon thingy up in the sky, watching us from down here.
Oh, the blimp view?
Yeah, thingy majig.
That'd be this view?
Yeah. So this is a great view. You can see even a teeny little carnival of 2 little rides and stuff. So, as you can see, in first place, Michael Cochran. What?
Yep. Did you see that?
Nope.
Jesse Olson made a move on Ryan to get into 3rd place going into turn 1 of the most dangerous corners. It ranks really up there, probably in the top 10 of the most crazy, dangerous corners to master in all of motorsports is turn 1 of Daytona. And you guys will see that when we go through a ride with somebody in their driver's seat to see the whole entire lap of just how crazy that really is. All right, so Michael Cochran making up 2 spots. Who's our shake and bake leader right now?
It's Mr. Robert Elder.
He is doing well, moving up 8 spots in his Porsche.
So, if I don't get it. So, if Ethan is sort of new and he's out, then why is his name on the board?
Well, just like my name's on there, I'm just doing the commentating. I never drove a single lap or a single second, but because I'm in the session on iRacing, it automatically includes you inside of the race grid and the race timing and scoring.
Because, wait, how does qualifying feel?
Well, qualifying is all by yourself. You're just on the track doing 2 laps as fast as you can with no one else around.
Well, must be fun.
Yep. So there's a lot of action here. So Andrew Gaterick just made a pass. Kevin Medina goes back into pit lane again for I think a 2nd time now. And again, any type of aero damage that happens to the front of the cars here at Daytona really does hinder the car's top speed. So there's Jesse Olson. That Lamborghini allows him to just jam on those brakes and spin that back and around so he can get that thing rotated in towards that corner. So Robert Elder and Justin Barrera closing on times right next to each other in 12th and 13th place. But this pack up front now has dropped off Andrew Gaterick, who moved past Zach, who must have had a mistake. And these 4 up in the front now are trying to do their best to break away. Wow, as the guys really close up on the back of Michael Cochran. It looked like almost like, what are those things, accordions? You know, they play the accordions, it goes out and goes back in.
Oh, yeah, there's also some kind of other instrument where you sort of have a piano, buttons, and some kind of...
You mean like with you mean bagpipes?
No.
No?
It's like some kind of metal thing that's black. It has some keys and some buttons, and
That's an accordion?
Yeah, and it's also like a thing that goes like that, and there's also this.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to go back to the racing as these guys are going out through the bus stop. One of the good things too about a lot of the drafting that happens here is it does allow you to save some fuel. So we're all running about half a tank of fuel for this lap, even though it is 20 laps in total. But we do like to force a pit stop to make it a little more interesting for everybody as well. Hi, you had your hand up. I thought you wanted to talk. There's Jesse Olson. He is looking like he wants by. He knows these 2 Tennessee teammates are working together to stay out in the front. But Jesse's getting a little anxious, and he does want to move forward in that Martin Sports Car Club liveried Lamborghini. Yep, Ryan back there, I think, is just hanging out, just going to see what's going to happen up front, see if he's going to take advantage of everybody going through there. So looking at the timing and scoring stuff, I don't see a lot of people going off track, which is good. You know, this is a home track. I can tell you that a handful of these guys, myself included, have spent many hours rolling around this track in real life, whether it be on 2 wheels, 4 wheels, endurance racing, Chump Car, Champ Car, SCCA, NASA, CCS, it doesn't matter. Look at plane landing. You see it in the background?
Cool.
Yeah. So there wasn't a plane crashing, that was a plane landing because right behind Daytona International Speedway is the Daytona International Airport.
So, it seems that Robert Elder is doing a great job on getting up there.
He is, and here is Chris Wells. He is giving chase to Michael Cabrera. I know this is kind of towards the back end of the pack. Eric went down some spots. Not sure. He was running mid-pack, but it shows that he did go into the pits. But I don't see anything where he had an issue on track. So it might have been he wanted to get out of traffic and try to take the maximum fuel to finish the race and do his one and only stop early, as he's in his Spider-Man liveried Porsche 911. So moving back up here is Vincent, who has giving real good chase to Junie Thompson. Junie back in 17th and Vincent 18th. And just goes to show you, even though they're in the back of the pack, there is still a ton of racing here in these pair of BMWs, as Junie kindly goes to the side. I don't know if that was a tactic, because he got over kind of quick enough so Vincent can go by and he can actually tuck back in behind him, as the two of them are working together and coming up to Bjorn, who came in second place in the rookie league that happened on Monday, and Junie actually won his race in the rookie league as well. So these guys are not any stranger to racing with each other, and especially around this track for this particular week.
So, guess what?
Monkey butt.
We are only one lap away from going to me messing up every single one of the names on the map. So get ready that map, because it might be a little bit more time.
Okay, well,
we pass the line.
I'm going to need you to find a racer that you want to drive around with.
Already got him.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
And has it been somebody that you've raced with before? You don't know?
Let's see. Who have I not raced with before? Who do you think I haven't raced with?
I don't know.
How about... bit hard. Keep talking.
It is. I know. Well, they're coming through the bus stops. You're going to have to pick somebody quick.
Okay, Mr. Zach.
Zach Holden.
Yes.
All right. He is in the Porsche 911.
I'll pick you another day, Ron.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's not. He is actually...
Fireworks!
Yeah, no, no. This week he is actually in the... It looks like the Lamborghini.
Isn't it fireworks?
Yep, no, not yet. It's only halfway through the race.
Oh.
So here we go. We went past the start finish into
Turn 1.
Turn 1. I know, these names are boring.
Boring.
And then a little switchback here, which is
Turn 2.
coming up to the first horseshoe, which is officially named
Recognize International Horseshoe.
Close. Rodriguez International Horseshoe. Going to a short straight with this little slight area here, which could be a little dangerous, called
Clunk.
the Kink. Into the second horseshoe, which does not have an official name according to my source.
Turn 5. I'm gonna call them different names.
Okay.
And the next one is Hamburger.
Turn 6, right here. You could have called it a slip and slide, because everyone usually spins around in circles trying to get on the power. Going up to NASCAR number 1, which on the road course is also called
Mr. Cat Unicorn.
Turn number 7, which goes in the NASCAR in turn 8.
Mr. Pickle Cat.
And then this one actually does have a name.
Blackberry Scratch.
The backstretch into the what you do before you go to school.
I don't do that.
Oh.
It's bus stop. I go to car.
And then NASCAR 3, also known as
Mr. Cat. Again.
And then turning around to get to part of the last stretch on the tri-oval
is Mr. Mock and Snock.
right onto the start finish line, also called the
Flunkin' Bandersnatch.
the front stretch.
Did I get them right?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So I do want to say this, though. The Martin Sports Car Club is at the firm coming up for next month, which is an official racetrack out in Ocala. And Chris Wells and Bob Blucher and a couple other guys are part of the designers. And Chris always names the corners. And he had sent a track map to me for Lexi to name the corners.
Yay!
To make sure that she comes up with some of those Mr. Pickle fried catnip, whatever stuff.
Oh, Mr. DJ Catnip.
Something like that, yes.
DJ Catnip. What?
That is it. So real quick here, going right back up to the front. So Jesse he has gotten past Ollie, and let's see if I can.
That cat looks depressed.
It looks depressed. Why?
I don't know. It's just got like a sad face on its face, and its eyes is just staring at me.
Yep. Here's the pass. So we called it earlier. Going into turn 1, that Lamborghini is so strong coming through there. Was able to take second spot away from Ollie, and now he's giving chase. So Jesse wants that lead, no doubt. So they're coming through. So he's using as much of the draft as he can. He's pulled out alongside as they're coming through just out of the bus stop now. You got 2 pairs of guys going side by side. Michael Cochran. So Jesse is now leading the race officially at the stripe. So he will get a bonus point for leading a lap. So going into turn 1, let's see how everyone else reacts. Oh, Mike! Oh no! No, that's horrible. We saw the back end as he was going in, and let's see if we can get a better view on that one. You can see the back end starting to give out right here. He tries to save it, but it is a Porsche and just turns right into Ryan Flannery, unfortunately. So that is not the end of the day for Michael, but he did lose some spots. Hopefully we can get back to his cars. We are now checking out his car, so it looks like it's okay. Not too bad, unfortunately. All right, Jesse Olson now is in the lead after starting second, losing a couple places, and we knew that he'd be fighting for the lead. I mean, he normally does. He is just so well in tune with that Lamborghini, with Ollie very closely behind him. And I'm not sure how Ollie's going to play this one, if he's just going to sit back for a while and just play the draft, or if he's going to try to break it. But these two got to somewhat work together. So the other guys behind, got the hiccups. Better take a drink.
I don't really. Bourbon.
Yes. That's not why I'm hiccuping, though.
Also, I don't really get it. I mean, I get it now. It was like first place, but I was like, I don't see Lightsky up there. But then it was like for 21.
Yeah, he did take an early pit. All right, let's look at some of the other action mid-pack. Ryan Flannery, so he is going to go ahead and get his pit taken care of and get that fast repair moving forward as those guys move through, as he goes through pit lane. We do have racing here, Tom Jessen. We haven't talked too much about him. There he is. He's giving chase.
Doggy.
Yes, that's his rescue sim dog. So Tom, just under a second from Matt Montalvo, who is all over the back of Michael Day, as you can see right there as we move up one. There it is. These guys going at it. So as he makes the inside move into the horseshoe, but sometimes that always doesn't work out. But someone's going to have to give it up here at the kink if they both get the same drive. Oh, I'm interested in how this is going, but Matt looks like he is backing out very smartly as there's mostly one lane through there, because if you got to go 2 up, you end up through the grass, and then you end up heading into the apex where some other car is trying to make the turn.
Racing is so amazing.
How amazing is it?
So amazing that the dogs and cats want to sit in your chair and race. That's why the cat is probably sitting in your chair.
Yep, I know it's happened to me where you're in VR and all of a sudden you get 4 claws full of cat claws in your leg as you're trying to race. And I know it happened to Andy Gatorick as well. I'm sure the other guys too have their pets jump in their laps as they're trying to race. So I don't know if we have to put full cages on this thing. Yeah, it's his co-pilot or his. In my case, it's my no, not a rescue animal. Therapy. It's a therapy animal, so I don't pick up my whole entire sim some nights and throw it through the window outside. So, hey, it's just very frustrating. Everyone wants to do better, than they did the last time, but sometimes you just get into a slump, and hopefully the change is not changing your whole entire sim rig because you threw it out the second-story window.
Speaking of throwing stuff out the window.
Oh no.
There's this weird thing about at school where we were in our classroom eating lunch and we decided to watch something and they threw a person's desk out the window.
At school?
Yes, it was like a weird school, like 30 stories high, and it was so crazy.
That is crazy.
It was
Was it a science experiment about gravity?
Well, I think they were in science class, and if he talks, then he gets like a mark and then or something. But if he gets his name circled, then he has to go in kindergarten bus, which is terrible.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun.
It's so funny. They threw his desk out the window.
All right, so we get the inside look of the Porsche 911 of Ollie. And again, without having any communication with these guys, I can only guess that he is just staying put and maybe saving his tires and saving fuel. It does not. So when you look inside somebody's car, the dashboard that you see there, it will show you the gear. It will show you some other information, but there's some information that it actually keeps from you, which is about fuel and fuel economy and tire temps and stuff like that. So other teams can't look in on you and make decisions based on what your current status of the car is. So we can't tell if he is saving fuel or he's coming close, but is he coming in? Oh, they both are. So they both decided on lap 14, they both had to come in to go through. And do we have a good view? Nope, that's not a good view. That's a little bit better view. As you see the cars coming through, going into turn one.
Crash each other.
Yep. So as you just saw, Ollie was able to drive through the car of Jesse Olson, and when you're in pit lane, sometimes you have to share pits because there's so many cars. Oh, they come off together, and but there's a better jump coming from Jesse Olson.
Where the ghost?
What ghosts?
The ghost. They're ghosts who lift up the cars and then change the tires and make these little sounds go zoop zoop.
Oh, well, this race is actually, they come out into traffic, so Bjorn be able to come through and be there. But I know Bjorn, he sees his relative and he will very nicely get out of the way the best way he can. I know that they are racing for position, which is interesting, but he also knows that those guys are probably the leaders just coming out of the pit. So a lot of guys just ended up pitting. Junie, Banana Man, Chris, all going through pit exit right now, and everyone is starting to cycle through. So let's check out the pit strategy. Looks like we still have a handful of guys that have not pitted yet, but we'll probably end up seeing them this lap, no doubt, lap number 15. These cars really can't go too far past lap 14 or 15 without having to get some fuel in there.
So this race has gone great so far.
Yep, it does, and not sure why that happened. I went to hit a replay of Matt Montalvo going off track, and it just showed me what was going on with the leaders, which is fine.
We have 5 more laps.
We do have 5 more laps, and it looks like we have a new shake and bake leader right now.
Mr. Justin Smalls.
Yes.
Which is now Justin Big.
Yes. He's going to end up getting his regular name back, and the other Justin Hall will have to be Justin Smalls. All right, so crossing the start-finish line, there are the 2 leaders going through. So they're right back. Everyone cycled through. You can see the top left of the screen, everyone coming out of the pits right now as they were all going through. There they are. Justin Barrera going through. Haven't talked too much about him, but he is in the top 10 right now, but he's still coming out of the pits. And what's interesting about the pits from this track, where this track was a rescan of Daytona. This is like the update after they put the new track surface on it, and they also made some changes to the stadium and the stands and the backstretch, took down those stands. They also just updated recently within this past year that the pit exit, it used to be when you were just past the pit wall where the cars were getting the fuel in their tires, you can go as fast as you can and not hit the wall. But IMSA has changed it to where you actually go around the whole pit wall exit until you get to those little sleeping policemen or speed bumps to get back on the track, just to keep everything safe. So it's nice to see that iRacing does come through and make as many updates as possible as they can. All right, Michael Cochran, we're going to check into him. He is making a pass, as there he goes right through there on Zach Holden. But how's this going to come out into the bus stop? So close coming through there. I thought maybe they would have gotten tangled up going into the bus stop. But Michael said, I want this spot. And he goes through and now takes 4th place. And he's got some driving to do right now, 2.5 seconds to get back onto the podium. And we'll see. But, oh, here comes Zach Holden. Zach has got a great run out of the bus stop, uses the draft, and you can tell, so now he's moving back in front. So one of the golden rules, I can tell you, and it does work for sim racing and re-racing as well, is you never want to lead a pack going into the bus stop, because everyone behind you is going to use the draft against you. So see if you're that tight. We got a little wiggle coming out of Zach Holden there. So these guys are going to keep going at it tooth and nail to go through. Oh man, Zach's car just looks like he's I don't think his inputs are that crazy, but his car is definitely on the ragged edge.
You know what?
What?
You said it hasn't been half the race yet, and we still haven't seen any fireworks. That's the big surprise.
Fireworks happen at the end of the race. Yes.
Well, everyone keep in touch.
Yes. All right, so here is Matt Carroll, who is towards the back. I know he did have a wreck earlier and used his fast repair to get back on board, so we're not used to seeing him quite that far back in the pack. So he did have some issues, but glad to see him still continuing in racing as well. Again, there's Bjorn keeping it nice and solid up in 16th place. And Eric, there's Eric. Looks like he might have just made a pass on Banana Man. Going through the kink in the second International Horseshoe. As on that Porsche, he's got all 4 rotors lighting up crazy, not just the first one. The front one's there in the front. So he is moving forward, and of course, I'm sure Michael Barrera, picking up a lot of speed in that 911. The more he gets used to it each week, is being able to keep up with these guys. So moving up a little more, there is Justin Hall right now, who was just a few minutes ago the leader for the Shake and Bake Award, which now goes back to Robert Elder in 9th place, making up 12 spots. So as everybody cycles through, he's had to give up some of those spaces.
Well, I know who my Shake and Bake Award is.
Yeah, who's that?
I mean, not Shake and Bake. The other award thingy. Lexi's Car Dress Up Award.
Oh, you already got that one?
Yup.
Okay. Well, look at this little race here. As we got Vincent catching on the back of Justin, who's giving chase to Michael Day as they started swapping position. Oh no, the back. Oh, he saved it. That was amazing. He actually saved that going into turn 1 in a mid-engine car known for swapping ends. So nice driving, Justin. Talking about some issues, Michael Cabrera looks like he had some problems. Yep, going right through there, coming out. So remember saying going back on to, and he had to go wide. Who was that behind him? Was been one of the Martin Sports Car Club BMWs. So yes, coming back onto turn 2 to go back on the high banks does get very slippery through there, and so glad to see not glad to see Michael actually spin it, but glad I was able to catch the action, so you guys know what I'm talking about there. Oh, we have another crasher. Unfortunately, somebody we don't like to have crash. This is Bjorn. Looks like in one of the International Horseshoes. Like the second one, luckily it was not bad, but he is going to wait until he can get clear through there and not take out anybody. So great sportsmanship. Thank you there, Bjorn.
What's wrong with taking out everybody?
No, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to ruin somebody's race.
I know, but then you get a chance. If this is a fight to try to get to first place, then you have to think of ways to crash someone else so that you can, if you don't have a bad crash, go forward where they're out.
Yep, that is true. And I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but Justin and Justin, these two guys, just went into the bus stop side by side and ended up coming out not quite the same, but they are just, tell you what, we only have a lap left to go. This is absolutely nuts. And oh man, I did miss.
I'm looking for fireworks.
Yep, we need to check this replay of Ollie going back into the lead using the draft on the backstretch going into the bus stop. And looks like, I don't know if Jesse meant to do that on purpose or not, to see how he's going to play, but we do have one lap left with these guys, and here they are going through, looks like turn 5 or 6, going back up onto the bank. So this is going to be their last chance to make some passes. So we got this into the bus stop and then going into the start finish, and we're going to ride along here with Jesse Olson. So braking real hard, come through. I see a lap car, not a lap car, but a car in the front. Hopefully that does not end up being an issue. And Ollie gets a great jump through there, but now it's just made up of about a 0.4 seconds. But that draft is going to play. As you can see the numbers on the time you're scoring going down to 0.3. They're getting ready to go to 0.2. How are they going to play this? Michael, not Michael, is Ollie is not swerving or anything to go through the draft, and Jesse, not sure. So here we are, white flag. This is the last time going through here, and there is the nose of that Lamborghini being able to tuck it in nice and tight to that tire wall as they go through the turn 2 into the first International Horseshoe, which is the Rodriguez. The International Horseshoe, yes.
Ferris wheel.
Yep, so out in front of them, we do have Kevin Medina about a second and a half ahead. Don't know if that's going to be an issue, but we're going to keep an eye on this one. I know there is some other action going on with Andrew and Dean, who are both ZPM teammates, riding real close together in their 911s. And also Justin Small still keeping track with Justin Barrera, and Michael Day is on Vincent Cernuto as well. Banana Man, after his small spin, is trying to get some space back from Chris Wells. But we're going to keep track with these guys here, and with Kevin being out front right now, 1.3 seconds is not going to help out Ollie to pull him along to give him a tow, as Jesse is now getting the benefit of that tow as Michael takes the inside line, defends it really well. And here they go, and there goes Kevin off to the side. Thank you, Kevin, for your great sportsmanship as these two go through on the very last lap. So last time, so here's all it is. Here's all the Frankenbeans, all the money. Here's the jackpot. How are these guys going to play out? As Jesse pulls out of the draft a little bit early. Not so sure about that. If he's going to make it all the way through, maybe he does have a different aero setup, and he does have some horsepower to get through, but they're running out of time. But Ollie does have the inside line. There goes Ollie, probably a little too late to get back into the draft right now, as Jesse played it correctly and did go through, and he is your winner for the Season 3 Daytona night race for the Martin Sports Car Club.
Can you go to Bloomfield? I want to see the fireworks.
My goodness. There are your fireworks.
Can we see where they're coming from? They're beautiful. I thought they'd be coming out from the sky.
Yep. So interesting fact, which is kind of neat, Matt Jackson, who's not racing tonight, and myself used to work for a pyrotechnic company that we would actually put up and set off the fireworks for the Daytona track. So when we see the fireworks in the sim like this, it's kind of neat, but we always say, that's not how it goes. But anyway, so that was interesting. So we don't do that anymore since we both moved to Tennessee. But nonetheless, there is everyone crossing the line, and we're going to go...
Donut party.
Yes, going to the donut party, and we'll get right to how things ended up. There is the results, with Jesse Olson winning over Ollie in the battle of the draft of the last corner. So remember I was talking about how you don't want to draft leading into the bus stop on the last lap, but he did. But he won by 0.1 seconds over Ollie.
You know what I thought of, but never did?
What's that?
And forgot.
Give out points?
No.
But yes. But anyway, go ahead.
I never got to go down the leaderboard.
Well, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for you to go down the final results board.
Oh, cool.
Have at it.
Okay. In first place is Jesse Olson. Second place is Olivier. Third place is Ryan. Fourth, Michael. Fifth, Zach. Sixth, Dean. 7, Andy. 8, Tom. 10th, Robert. 10, Daniel.
Ninth, Robert. Yeah, 10th, Daniel.
Robert. 10th,
you got
Daniel. 11, Vincent. 12, Justin. 13, Justin. 14, Michael. 15, Matthew. 16, Junie. 17, Matt. 18, Bjorn. 19, Eric. And 20,
Michael, Banana Man.
Michael, Banana Man. 21 is Chris Wells. 22 is Kevin Medina.
Yep, you got it.
Is that it?
That is it.
I thought there was like 30 of them.
There was. It was a short week. We have guys that are actually moving across the country. A couple of drivers are moving across the country this week, so we are short a couple drivers from Tennessee and from Shut Up and Drive It, and a couple guys that are going around. So that about wraps it up. What do you think of that race?
Amazing.
Yeah, that was a good one. Daytona always is a great race.
Pace car.
And always fun. Yep, there's a pace car. And so thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week as we will take on a new track for the Martin Sports Car Club, which is Virginia International Raceway. So that is going to be a crazy one, no less, I'm sure, with a lot of offs if you guys know that track. So we hope to see you next week, and time to say goodbye.